Hey, how's it going? I'm taking a look at your work here. I like to see the progress being made. I'll give you my thoughts about some of the changes that were made, and you can take them or leave them, but these are going to be my thoughts and my advice about this. It's very difficult in animation to have a character interrupt another character in general. Um, so I really like this change that you have on her because it focuses the audience on her over him. And then she leans in and says her line, and all that's great. But he turns and he kind of interrupts her before she's done. And what that does is it kind of makes me, I think it muddies what she's saying and what his reaction is. You know what I mean? So I would delay this. The what could come right after she's done speaking, but I wouldn't have the line step on the other line. But maybe that's important in kind of like who this character is. Maybe he doesn't really listen to her, or maybe he interrupts her a lot. So I don't have the larger context of all of this the way a director would. You are the director. So if you disagree with that, or it doesn't feel correct for his character to wait for her to be done speaking before he interrupts her, then you can disregard that. But just watching this as an audience member who doesn't have context, it's hard for my brain to process even the full message of what she's saying about microwave steaks, because she's saying it tastes like rubber, though. Like in that rubber part is when he interrupts. And then my brain immediately thinks about him and his character and why is he reacting that way before I even process kind of the message that she's giving. So yeah, as she trails off saying though, or maybe almost as soon as she's done, then you could have this character say what, like kind of quickly.
We do have instant ramen. No.
And so I like this gesture that she's doing when he leans away. She's trying to like still kind of see his face and engage with him. I think that's a really cool choice, but he leans away on this really big move, which is great, because what that's going to do is focus your audience's attention on him, which is where we want it. But she's kind of doing the move at the same time, which kind of competes for the audience's attention. And so I'm not really sure where to look in this moment. So I would have him do the move.
We do have instant ramen. No.
So maybe wait till he's done doing his move to have her start doing this move here. Because then I think it'll keep that like engagement. I like the gesture and everything, but I think then we're telling the audience like towards the end of what he says, you know, if she does that move, then we're telling the audience like, hey, we want you to take your eye off him and throw it to her. So like a magician, we're always trying to control like where our audience is going to be looking, right? And so you can pull their attention around the screen, and you should be very cognizant of this as you like design your animation and determine your timing and where you want it to be. So that's like, where do you want your audience to be looking? It's a really important thing when designing animation and getting the animation like reading clearly. Like maybe you can go into this move from even like this like crouch down pose. Maybe she doesn't need to return up in order to do that move. I know that these are like cleaned up drawings. Or maybe instead of this anticipation here going back like that blue, like this anticipation here, the anticipation into this move could be that. Like this could be the anticipation into getting into this move, so you don't really need, oh man, using the wrong buttons. You really wouldn't need like this drawing or this drawing. You would just start into this from, let's see, I didn't mark it. like here. No, I didn't mean to do an X. Sorry, I meant like from here. The X has a different connotation. I just want to see what the relative spacing of all that is like versus this pose, to see if that's good advice or terrible advice. I'm hoping it's good advice. Yeah, so that could work. That could work. That would be my advice. Just to keep things a little clean, a little simpler, and not overcomplicate that move too much. That this move will become your anticipation into this gesture. And that way you can delay this lean down move that she does until kind of like later in his dialogue delivery. You know, like probably towards the end, or I don't know, wherever it feels correct. That'd be my advice.
Instant ramen. No. Refrigerated steaks are even trying, no? You make too much food.
Yeah, and then the rest of that is just in progress, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it. So I like the additions you made. I think maybe just like some slight retiming and shuffling around, maybe in order.
Microwave steak tastes like rubber. What? I mean, we do have instant ramen. No. Refrigerated steaks are even trying, no? You make too much food.
Yeah, that would be my advice. I don't really have much more than that. I think that this is coming along great. You know, just like try to find the time to get all these cleans up or tie down pass or whatever it's called. And then we can, I think last time I talked about maybe inserting like some little gestures to like emphasize little parts of this, you know, so that we can keep it like a little bit more lively in certain parts. But we can talk about that later if you want after your first like tie down pass, as long as you don't mind going back in and adjusting some of these drawings and stuff like that. But or you can build it in right now to this stuff. But it's all coming along great, and I really look forward to seeing it next week. Yeah, try to find the time, but I think this is going to be really strong. All right, have a good week.